Remember those adults you used to see when you were like 8, 9 years old, and you used to be like, wow, these people are the big people. And you used to look up to those people and be like, I want to be like this person, or wow, that person is so cool. Like, when I grow up, I want to be like them. Now you're that person. And it feels really weird because you still feel like a child inside. But according to how much you've lived, you're the person that's supposed to know what they're doing. You're the person that should understand what to do, how to give advice, you know all the resources and be like leading other people on their path. But the funny thing about this age is that it's like the first time that you're able to be able. It's like when you're a kid, you don't have the ability or the resources to do big people things. So let's say you can't drive a car, you can't buy a car, you can't have your own place, you can't, in some cases, you can't drink alcohol. There's so many things that, you're not given an explanation to, but you're told that you can't do. Then you get into teenage life, and it's like you just try everything at once because you're like, yo, like I'm big now. No one can tell me what to do. You just do everything, and for many of you, that looks like a lot of different things. But for the sake of keeping this video concise, it's like you do all the things, you try all the things, but it's your first time coming from you couldn't do anything to now you could do something. So by trying all the things, you don't really know what's gonna land. You don't know what's good, what's bad. It just, these new feelings, you're like, I want to try these new feelings, right? And then that leans into most of your 20s because mid 20s to late 20s, you're fixing all the things that you did when you were a teenager. So if you got yourself in debt trying all these new things, if you got yourself to have, habits that you're not very proud of, you start to fix them in your late 20s. If you got into friendships that don't align with where you're going, you're starting to fix it in your late 20s. So to recap, until this point, you're a kid, you don't know anything, you're looking up to everyone in every situation, saying one day. Then in your teens, you actually try it, everything. Then in your mid 20s to late 20s, you start to fix all the things that you did or arrange your life in a better way than you could have when you just tried these things for the first time. So if you bought a car that was way too expensive, but you thought you needed it when you were 20, by the time you're 25, you're just like, damn, like I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this. Or if you are a person that we're sold that, oh, you need all of these luxury items and stuff like this, in your mid to late 20s, you start to be like, maybe I'm not this person. Maybe I like to be around a different crowd. Maybe I like to see a different element of life. Maybe now I want to start something, right? And then you get into your 30s. And in your 30s, in my opinion, is the first time that you actually start to live. It's the first time you actually start to understand yourself in a deeper way. And it's the first time you start to be able to take intentional actions consistently, right? So this is the first time it's like you're conscious and you have the ability to put intention behind that consciousness. And this is the first age level, like 30 to 40. So now you're doing things intentionally, but you still feel like young inside. It's just weird because it's time for more permanent decisions. Now is the time where you're choosing what the rest of your life is going to look like. Because before it was, I don't want to say random, but you're learning to walk. So you're not sure about direction yet because you need to get on your feet. But now you're on your feet and now you're like, well, I have this whole entire map. Where should I walk? Why should I walk? And now all the decisions that you make, unlike in your teens and your early 20s, Every single thing matters. Around this time is when you're gonna start to be like, yo, do I want a family or not? Do I really want a family? Do I want do I want kids? Do I want to continue or go into an entrepreneurial route, consciously? Probably in your 20s you tried and failed or tried and succeeded, but now you're like, I know how to do this right. So do I do that? Um, there's just so many options, and now they really matter. Right now I'm in Panama and it's raining like crazy. In your 30s, you understand how unexpected life is, but you almost respect it for what it is. And you respect what you can do and your limitations, and you're able to say, I'm comfortable with this, and this is how I'm going to grow forward. But it's a space that not everybody knows how to appreciate, because a lot of people are still chasing when they didn't have to be accountable, or they had to be less accountable for their things in their earlier years, because you lived an entire life up until this time to where, you know, it's almost like you could just be like, my bad. You're a kid, you make a mistake, yo, my bad. You're a teenager, the my bad is a little bit more serious, but you're like, yo, my bad. And they're like, it's a teenager. You're in your early 20s, same thing. You get into your 30s, yo, there's no my bad. It's like you did that, and you're fully accountable. You feel fully accountable, and the world and the system holds you completely accountable. So it's an interesting age to be at the first time. I feel like when you get into your 40s, that's when you actually start to appreciate your life for what it is and understand your life for what it is, because you pass through all the phases. So in your 40s, 50s, and going on, it's like, I'm actually my living being. I'm actually who I am. Look, it's raining like crazy, and I'm not sure if the rain is going on the lenses of the camera. So I'm gonna wrap this up. There's no real advice that I want to give other than life comes in seasons. And if you can appreciate every single phase of your life, you'll end up living a good life. Stop trying to control it like I couldn't control this weather. I started recording and it started raining. Love it and appreciate it for what it is, because you're going to make it to where you're going. And I can say this because it happened for me, and it is happening for me. But that's just because I've been walking in faith this whole time. It's an amazing place to be in at 35. And I'm sure that it's going to be great at 45, 55. If you're 45 and you have advice for 35-year-olds, let us know. I'm going to get out of this rain. I'm in Panama right now. I'm going to be hosting a retreat here. And it's really early in the morning. Stay tuned for what actually happens on this retreat. It's happening in September. And if you have any thoughts on where you're at in life right now, like, how do you feel about it? What are they telling you to feel about it? What's the media telling you about your age versus how do you feel about your age? Do you feel like you're holding back? Do you think like you're being held back? Do you feel like you regret a lot of things in life where you should have done things but you didn't do them? So not only did the camera stop because of all the rain that was hitting it, but my storage, because I'm in Panama, for some reason my iCloud isn't syncing. But there's one more thing I wanted to say about this topic, is that a lot of times we think life is over. A lot of times we think like, okay, well, I'm 18, and you're comparing yourself to other people, or you're comparing yourself to what you believe that you should be, and you're like, wow, like I failed. It's the end. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And at every stage we can feel that. And at every stage it feels like it really is the end, because of the overstimulation of what is going on around you. So what do you feel at 16, 18, 25, 30s? It's like you really feel that it's the end. But something that I realized in my my time of being on this earth is that things are never really over until you make it over. And there's no timeline like your timeline. You're the only one living this timeline. And it may take you a longer time to learn the things that you want to do in life. It may take you a longer time to appreciate yourself in a way that could properly be expressed in this world. Not everybody has the same abilities or the same time frame to execute on those abilities. So all this to say is that, at least in my experience, well, I really think this applies to everybody, is that every single thing that you've been through, every single hard thing until this point that you are at in life, whether it be 18, 20s, 30s, I don't know, at every single point in life, you succeeded to make it to where you are. So you have 100% success rate on life. If we're just being honest, you have 100% success rate. You're here right now. Every single hard thing that you thought that you couldn't make it through in life, you made it through. Every single obstacle, bump that you were like, wow, this is crazy, whether it be heartbreak, whether it be a financial trouble, whether it be breaking up with a friend, whether it be, I don't know, like a physical altercation, you made it to right here. So you have a 100% success rate. So just keep that in mind the next time you feel like it's over. The fact that you're here right now means that it's not over. The fact that you're here right now means that you can give it another try, even if you can't try right away. Sometimes you're traumatized from what happens to you, and that's okay. That's going to take the time that it takes so that you could get to the point where you need to be. It's okay. Feel your feelings. If you're down, be down. Appreciate it for what it is, because life comes in seasons. And whether you're 18, whether you're in your 20s, whether you're younger than that, whether you're 45, 55, no one has all of this stuff figured out. At least this is what I think at my 35-year-old age. Anyways, I'm going to get back to, handling the preparations for this retreat. Let me know what you think in the comment section.